Thank you. Alrighty. All right, so we're going to get started. Welcome to the vice presidential debate. This is for the vice president of external affairs position, and we will be hearing today from Mr. Diaz and Mrs. Navarro. So each candidate will get 3 minutes for their opening statement, and we will start off with Mr. Diaz.
First of all, thank you very much for being here. Alexis, nice to see you. My name is Juan Diaz, and I'm honored to be running to serve as your next Vice President of External Affairs. I stand before you today not just as a candidate, but as a first-generation college student, an immigrant, and someone who has experienced firsthand the challenges that many of us face, and the power of student leadership to make a difference. When I first stepped into campus, I knew that I wanted to do more than just attend classes. I wanted to be a voice for students like me. As the current collegiate senator for the College of Liberal Arts, I've fought to make sure that your concerns are heard and acted upon. Through this role, I've helped secure and increase funding for student organizations and worked to expand access to opportunities that empower you to succeed both in and out of the classroom. I've also served as chair of the Outreach Committee, supporting efforts to build stronger connections between SGA and the student body. On the Appropriations Committee, I helped ensure students traveling to conferences and hosting events had the funding they needed to grow and lead. And in the Document Review Committee, in which I led the charge in improving the transparency and clarity of our governing documents, because student government should work for you, not behind closed doors. Alongside my running mate, I co-developed the Free Legal Enrichment Program, designed to bridge the gap between our community and legal education, because service should not stop at the campus gates. If elected, I will work to bring strong partnerships beyond UTIP's borders, whether it's local leaders, businesses, or other institutions, to bring more opportunities to our students. I will fight for your interests at every level, making sure that UTIP students are not only represented but respected. I'm not here to make empty promises. I'm here to create lasting impact. I believe in action, accountability, and advocacy, and most importantly, I believe in you, in your stories, your goals, and your power to create change. When you cast your vote, remember this: a vote for me is a vote for you. Vote Juan Diaz. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Diaz. Mrs. Navarro.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alexis Navarro. I'm a computer science major with hopes of working with the FBI when I graduate with my bachelor's. A quick little fun fact about me, although I am a STEM major, I love working civic engagement, hence me running for VPE. I'm passionate about creating meaningful opportunities, launching impactful initiatives, and building stronger networks that improve students. I can talk about my leadership experiences that have given me qualifications to be in this position, but I'd rather take the time to show my action plan for when I'm elected as your VPE. First, I would, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Based on my research and on both the Student Government Association and the position I'm running for, I have developed the following goals that align with my responsibilities of this role. First, I would promote administrative transparency, legislative awareness, boost campus engagement, reduce food insecurity on campus by 40%, spotlight student organizations, strengthen ties with the City of El Paso, and streamline purchasing and vendors connections. Make sure to vote Alexis Navarro on your ballot and Ed also. Thank you.
All right, now on to the actual questions. Of course, you will have 3 minutes to answer each question. Mr. Diaz, as Vice President of External Affairs, you will have many legislative responsibilities. What qualifications do you have for this role?
Well, in my capacity in student government, I've been privileged to be in a senator large position and as well as collegiate liberal arts. Focusing on collegiate liberal arts, not just have I established the free legal enrichment program, but I've also focused on talking to student organizations because they're the ones that do most of the work, the ones that make sure that our students are getting the benefit of what's being at UTEP. And through my position, I focused on making sure that they have the outreach that they need, whether it's to co-large bulletin boards to make sure that their people know about their student organization. As well as, again, besides serving as chair of the outreach committee, also been in appropriations and also the DRC committee to make sure that transparent representation is done. But prior to that, I understand food insecurity is a really big thing. And that's why I worked in a nonprofit that was devoted to trying to eradicate that. Through that experience, I led and executed a project that required me to network with various individuals around my community to establish a resource fair for students that didn't just cover food, it covered housing, transportation, many of the basic needs that our students are not being met. I'm a student. I don't come from money. I'm struggling as much as any other student is, and that's why I'm running. I also served as a legal assistant, where my attention to detail, I constantly had to communicate with lawyers, judges in a professional manner. And those are the qualifications that I'm going to bring to this position: professionalism, empathy, and drive. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Diaz. Mrs. Navarro, as Vice President of External Affairs, you will have many legislative responsibilities. What qualifications do you have for this role?
So my most prevalent qualifications come from my experience in SGA as executive assistant. In this role, I have been able to attend weekly meetings with the current exec board and our advisors, allowing me to establish relationships with people such as Dean Aguilar, the Dean of Students. These meetings have led me to gain meaningful skills such as efficient communication, efficient scheduling, and the ability to prioritize tasks. If I'm asked to do something, I'm going to do it right then and there during that meeting so I can ensure that we get that done first. Also, I have been able to learn the back end of SGA, making a tool of my knowledge on the other hand. On the other hand, I also work for the CCE, the Center for Community Engagement. And my role at the CCE, I've been able to talk to students, give presentations about why civic engagement is important on campus and why you should speak up by your voice. Your voice matters. Who you elect as your representative matters because that's you. That's who represents you. So make sure to vote Alexis Navarro for your PE.
Thank you, Mrs. Navarro. Mr. Diaz, how will you work to promote greater transparency within the SGA?
Of course, thank you for the question. So transparency has always been the core of my work at SGA. As a chair of the outreach committee, I work to connect student government with the broader student body through interactive outreach events and feedback-driven programming. Because I believe that students shouldn't have to dig through policy language to understand what their representatives are doing. I think the results should speak for themselves. But to my fellow candidates that are running, if elected into this position, I can assure you that I will not have favoritism. I will not get preferential treatment, because the work of this organization goes beyond political parties or political affiliation. I want to be the one to represent, highlight, and encourage you to be successful. My door will be always open to hear your concerns, and I will ensure that my representation goes beyond the duties of this position. At the end, we're all here with the same goal in mind, to ensure that we, as a current generation of minors, transfer the university, not only, not less, but better than the university was transferred to us by our predecessors. Thank you.
Mrs. Navarro, how will you work to promote greater transparency within the SGA?
I love this question. So a few administrations back, what we used to allow SGA would allow and invite a member from the prospector to attend our Senate meetings. So meaning that the prospector would be during the meetings and they would listen, they would answer any questions that we had, and vice versa and all that. So they got a well informed of what SGA was doing during that week, and then they got to publish it for their newsletter the next coming week. I think this is an important thing to have as an SGA, especially to promote transparency and see what we're doing. So as VP, I will ensure that this tradition is brought back and upheld, making students more well informed as to what SGA is doing, how we can serve you guys, and what is needed to improve SGA. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Navarro. Mr. Diaz, accountability is defined as taking ownership to ensure priorities are achieved. How can students hold you and other SGA members accountable for your actions in office?
Thank you for that question. Okay, so I believe that accountability is not just about taking ownership. It's about showing up consistently and making the work visible for the people that you serve. As a current senator, I made it a point to communicate openly with students to ensure that they understand what we're doing on their behalf. I've regularly attended campus events, spoken with student leaders about their needs, and supported student initiatives like increased funding for student organizations. If elected, I plan to continue holding weekly office hours, or hold weekly office hours, where students can speak to me directly about their concerns or ideas. I want to make sure that students know what we're doing for them. By monthly progress reports, like she mentioned, in every space that I serve, I want students to feel not only heard, but empowered to hold me and other SGA members to the promises that we make. We do it through making the language simpler in DRC for students to understand, because our students need to understand who's representing them, what we're doing, and the actions should speak for themselves. And that's why my party is across different majors, because we understand the struggles of each and every one of you. We come from different backgrounds, different stories, all here to serve you for a greater purpose. Thank you.
Mrs. Navarro, accountability is defined as taking ownership to ensure priorities are achieved. How can students hold you and other SGA members accountable for your actions in office?
I think this is a pretty straight answer by accepting and inviting criticism. By creating an environment that allows for anyone and everyone to criticize me and my work, I'm allowing for accountability to be taken. If you don't like something I did, you don't like the flyer, you don't like the initiative that I'm taking, please sit down and talk to me and let's discuss what it is and what I can do better. So I can fix that for the SGA for you and I can make it better. Um, by making my peers comfortable around me to tell me what I'm doing when I'm doing something right or wrong, not micromanaging them, but allow growth for all members. Thank you.
All right, now for the closing statements. Or take that back. I'm gonna ask you, what type of technical skills or networking skills do you have?
So, as someone who's built connections across campus and with the Apostle community, I bring strong networking experience grounded in collaboration and purpose. During my time in SGA, as I mentioned, I worked with student organizations, university department, faculty members, and community leaders. But I'm also constantly networking in my position as an assistant coordinator for housing residents there. Because I understand that one conversation can be the difference between saving a life. And that's been important to me. I've also had the opportunity to attend the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities conference, where I got to facilitate conversations with not just multiple leaders across the nation, but also federal agencies. And bringing that information back to our students to benefit the students from criminal justice or any other major, letting them know that your major is an important part of you, but you can still excel outside of it. In my previous role as a legal assistant, like I mentioned, I communicated with attorneys, clients, and court staff regularly, honing my ability to represent other professionally respectfully. But furthermore, I also talk to clients. And I talk to them as people because I want to be sure that they're represented, they felt heard, in a system that can often be unforgiving. And that's what I'm trying to bring into this position.
Thank you, Mr. Diaz. Mrs. Navarro, what technical and networking skills do you have?
Anyone that knows me knows that I love to talk. I love talking to anyone and everyone. It's all about networking, making that connection with that person, showing them that you have empathy for them and all of that. This is what allows you to be a great person because you're taking insight as to what this person needs or wants or how they can succeed. Because if an opportunity pops up and you have them in mind, then you can reach out to them and tell them about the opportunity. Networking is one of the most vital things at UTEP that a student can do. Networking allows for connections to be made, opportunities to be taken, and growth to be sustained. Due to this, it has been a mission of mine to practice and learn how to better network. I've gained skills that have allowed me to create relationships with people from all backgrounds, cultures, and professions. Through practice, I have better ability to be a greater storyteller and an effective communicator of communication and an even better listener. My ability to be bold allows me to communicate to whom I may need to with ease. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Navarro. And now on to the closing statements. Each candidate will have 3 minutes for their statement. So let's start off with Mr. Diaz.
All right, thank you very much. So before I close, I want to thank each and every one of you, not just for being here, but also caring what happens at UTEP. And to my fellow candidates and as well as the students, you are the reason student leadership matters. You're the reason I'm standing here. When I think about leadership, I don't think about speeches, titles, or resumes. I think about the moments no one sees. The moment where someone steps up to solve a problem, answer a call, or fight about something bigger than themselves. That's been my approach every step of the way. Whether I was working to ensure student organizations had the funding they needed to thrive, or sitting on a committee making decisions that impact the student body, I was thinking about you. About students who are juggling classes, jobs, families. About the leaders building safe, creating, and empowering spaces. About the students who sometimes wonder if anybody in the student government is actually listening to them. Serving as the chair of the outreach committee taught me how powerful connection is and how much changes when the student government shows up for students, not just during elections, but every day. On the Appropriations Committee, I saw the dreams of students become reality. Student presenting research, representing UTEP across the country, and bringing back the knowledge to lift us all back up. On the Document Review Committee, I worked to make sure that the rules guiding us are clear, fair, and transparent. Because good leadership starts with accountability. This campaign isn't about promises. It's about proof. The work I've done wasn't done for applause. It was done out of service, faith, and drive. And that's the energy I will carry as your vice president. I will be the kind of leader who listens, who acts, and who never forgets who I represent. I will work to build stronger partnership and serve as the directory of the Student Government Association. I want to bring more opportunities to our campus and ensure that every student, regardless of background, feels seen, heard, and supported. As a first-generation immigrant, I don't know what this path looks like. And so I want to make sure that I can encourage other people to join student government and let them know that even if you're a first-generation student, this is the place for you. Talk is cheap, behavior doesn't lie. One vote for me is a vote for you. Your voice, your power does make a difference. Thank you.
Mr. Diaz, Mrs. Navarro, your closing statement?
Yes, I just want to say thank you for listening. I also want to thank my opponent for bringing more attention to the importance of SGA and the leaders that we choose, because it does matter who represents you. I hope I have gained your trust and your support. I hope you see the vision that I have for the student body and that we can be part of the new change. Again, I'm Alex Novato, your next VPI. Be the change you need. Follow us on Instagram at eloso, vote.eloso to be part of our campaign trail. Thank you.